exactly how it's going to go. I posted a YouTube poll of who would win in a fight. And so we want to do some breakdowns of like some of these who would win in a fight just because they're fun. And we're going to do kind of a big thing about it. But I have to say here, okay, now this vote here is not from the Bend the Knee. I keep that, locked. This is from my personal account. Said who wins in a fight, Jon Snow or Daemon Targaryen? And man, 64% Daemon.
I mean, so here's the thing, and this is where we got to decide: are we talking book Jon, or are we talking show Jon?
I don't care either way. I think book and show Jon takes Daemon.
You think so?
Yes, easily.
Oh, I don't know. Now in the show, I think
in the show
there's Jon Snow. I think
in the show, I don't even think it's close.
Not even close.
I don't even. No way. No
you really
way.
Think so?
Yeah, I mean, Daemon was shook when Aemon stood up and looked at him. Okay, I mean, okay, Jon shook White Walkers to their core. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's a lot of fun, and we're going to be doing a lot of these too. But no, and then we're going to do this sort of bigger thing we have coming too, where maybe we might have to pick some teams and see what's going on. So
there might be a draft. There might be a draft.
There might be a draft.
But and we might have to leave it to the people to decide who has the better roster.
Yeah, exactly. But man, for me, my thing is, so in the books where I sort of lean on Jon is, so for starters, they both have Valyrian steel swords, so that cancels itself out.
Well, is Longclaw Dark Sister possibly?
Well, if that's the case, then yeah, I guess you can't use it. But no, I don't think so. So regardless of that, I think a lot of people look at Daemon and they say, well, Daemon is, he's battle tested. He's fought in all these wars and all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit harder to go on Daemon because he's so vague. All we really know is that he fought in the Stepstones and he lost to Kristen Cole in a fight. In the books, I think it's pretty obvious that Jon is incredibly skilled. I mean, Corton Halfhand can size him up almost immediately. You look at Alistair Thorne and Donald Noy when he's there at the wall. I mean, Donald Noy has seen Robert Baratheon fight. And a lot of the people at the wall, anytime they comment on anything about Jon, it's always sort of, leadership or any of these other things. Alistair Thorne is constantly sending 2 to 3 people at him to train with him. And sure, none of these people are trained, but I mean, it's still hard to do. I mean,
they're bums. They're bums.
It's still difficult.
Samuel Tarly, come on.
Okay, I mean, it's still difficult. I mean, it's not easy. Jon also talks about how he's a better swordsman than Robb, and you could say that's an unreliable narrator from his point of view. But Alistair Thorne never once makes any crack at his swordsmanship, and he's trying to belittle Jon at every single turn he can take. The only time Jon has any trouble in a sword fight is against Mance Rayder, who one could be incredibly skilled as is.
Don't do
or,
it. Don't
or
do
two
it.
could
Don't
be Arthur Dayne.
Oh,
so
come
come on. I mean, he could be, ridiculously good.
I knew you were going to go there. Here's a question for you. And this could sway my decision. Do you think swordplay has evolved over hundreds of years? So for instance, a lot of people look at so a lot of people look back at boxers of the past, or for the better metaphor, I'll go with MMA, right? We look back at the Hoist Gracies, or even like Matt Hughes or a Chuck Liddell from ages ago in mixed martial arts, and now we're looking at the couple generations above. We're looking at far superior, more well-rounded athletes that approach the game from a different perspective. So do you think that swordplay has evolved in A Song of Ice and Fire to where Jon is just a more developed swordsman? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe Daemon was more elementary. It's kind of like football, right? Like, Could you compare Jim Brown to Nick Chubb today?
Right.
Like, would Jim Brown succeed in the NFL today?
Yes, he would. But I understand. I understand.
So you think Daemon would be fine then?
Oh, I definitely think Daemon would be fine.
So he'd be Jon Snow.
No, he wouldn't be Jon Snow. Here's another reason why. Is Daemon, much like a lot of other princes, I'm no doubt questioning their skill and ability, people are a lot more lenient toward princes in training push them as hard, right? And then they also have a little air of confidence and air of arrogance to them. Jon is a bastard who he pushes himself. He pushes himself as hard as he possibly can. So I think you have that, you have that going for you as well. And again, show, I don't even think it's not even close, because Jon has beaten 2 White Walkers. And to me, I mean, it's just like, how do you can't quantify anything that Daemon does that we know of that happens in the books.
That's true. It is very hard to quantify Daemon's impact as a swordsman. So I think if we're just going on basis of evidence, that Jon Snow, if you take the whole body of work, is probably a better swordsman than Daemon. We're gonna get hate mail. Right. I was trying to pull the other way on this tug of war, but
and again, some of the things we see in House of the Dragon, remember, don't happen in the books, so it's hard to compare. It's hard to sort of compare them. Like, it's easier to sort of say Book Daemon could wreck Jon Snow because we just know he's a boss, and that's just sort of it, right? But we don't have enough of the story. Whereas show, it's like some of the things we see in the show happen, like the fact that Aemon does not like, okay, let's go, Daemon, is a big deal.
Daemon was shook.
Daemon was shook. But I mean, like, for Aemon to be like, okay, I'll back off, is that just because he's, it super admires him, or he actually thought this may not go my way right now?
It's a good question.
Because if that's the case, then obviously should give a lot of confidence to be able to say Daemon.
I mean, part of Daemon's aura, right, is the fact that he has a massive dragon. I think that because he's kind of, referenced as a terror, right? He's referenced as a terror throughout Westeros. People were very scared of him, but that does have to do with the fact that he has a fire breathing lizard that he rides on the back of. So I think that we can't totally discount the fact that that's also part of, like, the legend of Daemon Targaryen. Now, here's a question. Do you think Daemon's lack of morals would boost his chances in a fight? That Jon Snow could be bent and broken because of his moral compass? Because Daemon is ruthless. You don't think so?
Nope. You want to know why? Because Jon Snow, I'm blanking on his name.
Beheaded, what's his name?
No. Who's the guy he fights in the tent at Craster's Keep?
I know you're talking about.
Right. Anyway, that guy fights dirty. He's like, I'm from the streets or whatever, and Jon Snow beats him too.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up the character's name right now.
I know the actor because he's in a lot of stuff, but regardless.
Carl.
Right. Yeah. So we're gonna anyway, these are fun, and we're gonna do some of these breakdowns because we don't want to see, like, and like Jamie versus two-handed Jamie Lannister versus Daemon, who wins? Oh, now that's a tough one. That one's a lot tougher.
Wait, Jamie versus
Daemon.
Jamie.
Really?
Come
See,
on.
I might think Jamie's a little overrated.
Now, Matt, we got a good thing going on in this podcast, but so help me God, I will go.
Just wait till we get to Barristan Selmy versus Arthur Dayne.
Oh my! I will not hear any Selmy slander. Let me tell you.
Well, I know I'm on Team Selmy.
All right, good. We're on the same.
Because to me, Selmy is the pinnacle.
Listen, what we're gonna do is we're gonna line up all these amazing swordsmen in battle. Battlemen, or what? That's a terrible battlers. Like, what am I saying? Warriors would be the word I'm looking for. And me and Matt are gonna draft some, and we might have other people join us.
We're gonna try to bring some people on and maybe do like a fantasy draft.
We're gonna do a fantasy draft of the best warriors in Westeros, and we'll let you decide history. Yes, and then once the teams are drafted, you, the listener, and the viewer are gonna vote on who has the best roster, and then we're gonna take it another step further a little later in the year in 2023. But that is an announcement for another time.